After the capture of the two mid-30s a week earlier, Tuesday the 25th of October saw me in the same swim for another quick overnighter. The weather was bang on with southerly warm winds and overcast with a low pressure. The rods went out on the same spots that brought me luck the week before, but nothing happened by the morning, and so it was back to reality and off to work. 3 days later, I was back after work on Friday the 28th. The lake was busy, and a lap of it in the car told me that the plateau swim was the best of what was left, and so I jumped in there. The rods went out to clear spots between the wheat beds, with the usual half a dozen spots on each, and I settled down knowing that I had until lunchtime the next day. The night passed with no action, however, and although there was some fish activity in the area, that stayed the case until it was time to go. With the clocks then going back, I was putting the rods out in the dark when I was next back on Wednesday the 2nd of November. I was in the point swim though, so I could put them out on my favoured spots without any difficulty. The buzzers were however silent, and the morning greeted me with pouring rain. I packed up undeterred though, keen to get back as soon as I could. That time was 3 days later on the Saturday. The fishing had slowed up a lot in recent weeks, and the lake was very quiet with only one other angler on it. They were in the point swim, but the island swim was free, and having got there early enough, I could set up nicely at leisure without racing against the light. There was a bit of rain in the air and the conditions looked good. The rods went out on spots, out towards the wheat beds and up the side of the island. Other than a tench which decided to hook itself in the night, nothing else happened. The morning came with me hoping for some daylight action, but none was had, and so Sunday lunchtime saw me leave the lake after yet another blank. Thinking that my luck must change soon, I was back on the following Wednesday the 9th of November. I was starting to use a bit of holiday now to knock off work early and get down the lake before dark. With no time to look around the lake, I chose the little point swim, fishing into the weedy bay, hoping that some fish were laying up there in the clear, still conditions. An uneventful evening and night passed, however, with no signs of activity, but in the morning, as I was about to pull the rods in, the left-hand rod started giving me a few bleeps. I stayed for as long as I could, willing the rod to tear off and give me a last-minute fish. I had to eventually bring the rods in, so I was not too late for work. The lunchtime of Saturday the 12th of November saw me heading back to the lake in bright sunshine. I found the point swim free again, and it looked quite promising, so I jumped in there and set up in the bright autumn afternoon sun. A fish rolled out to the far left in a corner near some sunken trees, so I put one rod out there with a few spots, and the other out to the right at 12 raps on a usual spot between two wheat beds. A bright night followed with a big moon, but nothing happened through the night, and although I scoured the area for signs in the morning to see any fish to cast to, there were no clues, and so lunchtime came around with me packing up after another blank. There was no midweek session the following week, and I was back in the late afternoon on Saturday the 19th. The island swim was free, so I put the rods out on the usual spots and baited lightly as the darkness fell. A clear chilly night followed and foggy morning with not a bleep being had and no signs, and so I packed up before lunch and chalked up another blank, which meant it was now a month since my last fish. I was not able to fish for another fortnight and was back in the afternoon of Saturday, December the 3rd, hoping that I could finally end the run of blanks. I tried the little point swim in the bay and fished my usual favoured spots. The lake was looking very different now, with a lot of leaf fall and feeling a lot colder and wintry. I saw and heard nothing in the bay to give me any encouragement, and the night and the morning were uneventful. It was yet another blank. The October catches seemed a long time ago, and I packed up wondering whether I would see another fish on the bank this year. A bout of illness and family commitments kept me away for the next couple of weeks, and then a cold snap hit which froze the lake. Sunday the 18th of December saw a break in the cold weather with a low pressure coming in from the southwest and double-digit temperatures. I therefore headed to the lake, but was disappointed to find that the rain now falling was on top of at least an inch or two of ice everywhere. I therefore headed off home again, but with plans to be back down in a few days once the thaw was in. That opportunity was on the afternoon of Wednesday the 21st. Okay, I'm back. It's Wednesday the 21st of December. It's just come up to 3:30 in the afternoon now. That's it now. I've knocked off work through to the new year, so I've got a bit of fishing to get in. Starting with a 2-nighter tonight. Because I haven't got much light left, I've just jumped in the first swim that's free, which happens to be the island swim. So yeah, not a bad swim to just get in for an overnighter, and then I'll make my mind up in the morning whether I might move or not. So yeah, I'm just going to put bags out or a little bit of bait around each spot, and yeah, and then just see what happens during the night. It's been lovely and warm for the last few days, so the ice has completely melted everywhere around the lake, whereas it was, a good 1.5 inches, perhaps 2 inches thick. So yeah, rapid transformation. Right, I'm going to get them set up and get them out there, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, that's them out there. I've got my house up. It's just come up 5 o'clock now. Very calm out there at the minute, but we're supposed to get a bit of wind, not much, light wind, coming in from the southwest, and a bit of rain from 9-10 o'clock onwards. So the forecast says. So yeah, we had some terrific wind the last couple of days, gales, and they would have smashed up and melted all that ice, and yeah, those winds would have been pushing in this swim, so you never know. It could be here. It's nice to have a 2-nighter, because yeah, I think particularly at this time of the year you need to do a bit of time, give the fish a chance to well, find your spot, and also if they're moving about slowly, and be inclined to feed on it. So yeah, I've just put the left hand one out on the corner of the channel at 9 wraps, just with a bag, half a dozen crumb freebies, half a dozen solid baits, 14mm SV1 pop up over the top, bit of my pellets all been soaked in the goodies, and a bit of dry pellet in there as well to balance it out and make sure the bag didn't get too wet and split. So yeah, and same baiting approach on the left hand rod, which has gone out at 19 wraps, just off the overhanging tree, and surprisingly, I'm not the best at PVA chucking at that sort of range, 19-20 wraps, it was pretty spot on. So I was prepared to let it just stay where it landed anyway, because it's all pretty clear out there now, but yeah, I was well pleased with that first chuck. So let's hope it brings me a fish, after this very long wait of what is. I mean, I say that, it's been the middle of October, so it's over 2 months now, but I've only done 8 nights, I think, in that time, so single overnighters, so yeah, I shouldn't beat myself up, I don't think, too much. It's just, when I had those back to back within a day, or 24 hours, whatever it is, 36 hours, mid-30s from over there on the point swim, I thought that was it. I thought I was going to have it off for a little while before, winter proper. But there you go. But it's nice and mild, I tell you. Not even needed the woolly hat. It's only going to drop to 7 tonight. I don't know if I said that already. But yeah, it's going to stay quite mild. And another mild one tomorrow, up to about 11, 12, something like that. More certainty of rain tomorrow. So yeah, I think that if it's going to happen, I'm in the right spot. Right, I'm going to have a Christmas break up from work beer, and I'll catch you later. morning. It's just gone 7:30 now. Very quiet night. Very wet night. Rain stopped now, but I think we're due to get some more. So, yeah, nothing to report. Yes. Okay, well it's just come up to 9 o'clock and the left hand rod went. Oh, forgot what these look like. Some nice golden winter colours. I reckon about 18, 19. Oh, it was a bit out there, 23. Right. Come on in. It's got a lifted scale on one side, so I'll treat that with propolis in a minute. Come on in. Behave. Please. It's like a bar of ice. Oh, come on in. No, come on. Slow me up. Alright, we'll try again. Okay. So solid. Another splosh. Okay, let's try that side. Sting a bit, mate. Okay, let's get back. The past 2 months are largely forgotten now. Oh dear. Yeah, well happy. I thought it might have been bigger when I was playing it because it was a plodder. It wasn't doing much, but it was just plodding. But then I got a glimpse of it. Rod length or two out. And okay. Up a double perhaps. But no, surprised it went 23. It's because I've not seen too many, have I, recently? Fish. So yeah. Nice sort of golden colours as well that they get in the winter. Had a few leeches on it. So yeah, I don't know how active they've been. I mean, nothing. I've not seen anything since, you know, well, through the night. I've not heard anything and seen anything since first light. So that was completely out of the blue. Yeah, I'm happy now. I can relax, enjoy the rest of the session, get that monkey off my back. So yeah, I can enjoy Christmas now. You never know, you know. There's time in this session still, you know, another 24 hours or so, and then I'm aiming to get another, well, if I can, another 2-nighter in between Christmas and the New Year. If not, then a few overnighters. Right, I'm going to have a celebratory cup of coffee. Okay, well, it's come up 2:30 now. Not seen any signs. It's all been quiet. A little bit of rain now and again. I think what I'm going to do is, well, the left-hand rod's going to stay where it is because that was another good chuck with that PVA bag. And you know, it's not been out there that long, only since 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning. And but the right-hand one, I'm going to swap it over. And I think I'm going to put it out there to the left, just beyond the corner of the snags or trees there, where I've fished before, and there's a nice bit of gravel. It's weedy in the summer, so I need to see what weed is still there. But the aim will be to just plop a bag there, because it's going to be, it will be near some weed, whatever's left. And you know, there was nothing happening on the where it is at the minute, over there to the right. So yeah, stick it out left, just to try somewhere different. I've not gone as far left as I intended originally, which was just off the edge of the snags out there. That's because I had a bit of a lead about first, and I couldn't really find a clean spot amongst the weed. There was normally a distinct, well, there was previously in the summer months, you know, a distinct sort of gravel area between the two weed beds, but I couldn't find that. And I guess because all the weeds sort of collapsed, broken down and collapsed and masked the area. But so I've gone to the right of it on where the sort of weed stops, onto a clear area, at about the same distance that I was going to fish, 11 maps, so not too far away. But I've just got a bit more confidence, and I've also switched over baits, hook baits. I was fishing SV1 pop-ups before on both rods, but now I've switched over to poacher baits, pair drop pop-up on the what is now the left-hand rod. Which has got a strong sort of acetate attractor in it, so yeah, I'm hoping that might pull a fish in to give it a go. So yeah, it's a white one, so it looks the same as the freebies once they've been in the water for a while. Yeah, we shall see. That's where it's staying now until I pack up, barring a take, and also what is now the right hand rod. Yeah, just going to leave that because that was a pretty good cast again with a PVA bag for me. So yeah, that's going to stay there. Because it's going to be dark in about 3/4 of an hour, something like that. Getting dark anyway. So yeah, I'll do an update just before it does. Okay, just gone 4 o'clock now. Light's starting to fade. So yeah, let's see what the night brings, eh? Morning. It's just coming up to 8 o'clock now. Pretty gloomy morning. I've had lots of rain during the night. I did hear fish when it wasn't raining, the quiet bits. Yeah, one sounded in the region of where my left-hand rod is out there, and the other was out further somewhere over to the right. So that was encouraging. But that's all. Forecast is for the rain to ease off in a couple of hours, and which will be around the time I start thinking about packing up. I've got to be off before lunchtime. Got a few chores to do, and definitely no Christmas presents to buy, just with 2 days to go to Christmas. Yeah. Bit of action on the right hand rod. Okay, well it's coming up to 9:30 now. I mean, those bleeps were just after 8:30, so yeah, about the time I had the take yesterday, and I've waited, but there's been nothing since. Still raining on and off, but I'm just going to have a coffee and then slowly have a bit of a pack away. And I reckon I'll be off about 11. Yeah. Right, but there's still time, so you know, here's hoping, eh? Okay, last half an hour now. Everything's packed away pretty much, just the rod's out. Stopped raining, thankfully, so yeah, just going to watch those rods for the next half an hour. Okay, that's it. Well chuffed with that, having a fish after 2 months of blanking. So yeah, I can have a good Christmas. I'm going to be back down between then and the new year, but if I don't see you then have a good Christmas and Happy New Year, and I'll see you on the other side.